And we
Ooh,
are live.
like that, huh?
Hey, Saber fans. It's Great Paladin, and welcome to my Saberhood. And I've got my good friend and guest, Darth Paradigm.
Hello, everybody.
So, the whole purpose and point of this live stream, and it's a big enough topic that it brought both of us out of hiding. And that's going to be
Out of our bunkers.
yeah, exactly. Our little our hermit hovels on Tatooine.
I don't know if everyone's aware, but the world's kind of scary right now. So we've been,
the sky is falling. But before we really dive into the topic, just want to say a nice big hearty cheers to my friend here. It's been a long time since we've been on live, so cheers.
Kampai.
I think.
Don't get us wrong. I mean, we talk
all the time. Offline.
We just we just don't produce any content, and we don't.
Now, I did drop a video yesterday, last night. I figured because of today's discussion, which is going to be Electrum Sabercrafts and their unfortunate closing becoming one with the Force, I had a Electrum Sabercrafts Remnant review that I was sitting on for a long time, and I figured, you know what, now's a good time to drop that review to precede this live stream. So that is up on my channel now. Please feel free to check that out, and then I will be linking this live stream to that review as well.
The Remnant had the D3, which you very
wasn't a big fan of, and we're definitely going to get there.
Do not like it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and absolutely, thank you so much, Paul. We really appreciate that, and it is good to be back, Fan Emporium. I did catch your comment on my review. Thank you for that. Yes, Paul, actually, I have gotten the GHV4, and I will be releasing a video on that hopefully sometime soon with my thoughts and things on that. So anyway, let's talk about Electrum Sabercrafts. Unfortunately, this company has had to close its doors. And if those that aren't aware, I'm going to share that now. And so first I'll show the announcement, and this is on Instagram as well as Facebook, and then they did do a little something on their website as well. But they are no longer accepting orders, and it's really sad. The
store's closed.
Yeah, the store is completely closed
permanently.
So as you can see here, it says, after nearly a decade of building sabers and community, it's with deep sadness that I share that Electrum Sabercrafts is being forced to close. The debts incurred after the fraud and theft perpetrated by VOG app developers and our long fight to recover have simply become impossible to bear. We invested everything to keep Electrum alive, every asset, every spare hour, even a second mortgage on our home, and that's really, really sad. Despite all of it, the bank has now called the debts, and both Electrum and our family are going down with it. So sad. We stopped selling new sabers some time ago to focus entirely on completing builds for existing customers. Our small Electrum team, who have been volunteering their time and skills out of sheer passion, have worked tirelessly to make that possible, and I'm assuming that's also without pay. A receiver will be appointed by the pursuing party to manage the assets, inventory, and remaining orders of Electrum Sabercrafts. Once this is established, it will be communicated via official channels for direct communication. Once appointed, they will be the only method of communication legally allowed. So this is why, if you have a pre-existing order, if you haven't heard anything, that's why. They legally are not allowed to contact the customer.
Is this Canadian law?
I'm assuming so, because this is in Canada. For all communication, please reach us only at info@electrumsabers.com. Please anticipate some wait on email communication. I will reply as I am able until such time as I am legally restricted. To our customers, supporters, and friends, thank you for believing in us. We are so sorry to have come to this point and so grateful for the years of creativity, excitement, and friendship you shared with us, Dave and the Electrum team. Very, very sad and unfortunate that we're going to see this company go down. Now, I want to go back a little bit as to how and why this happened. So, if you have been keeping up with Electrum, we know that they had their Diadium 3 soundboard, and then they were trying to go on and upgrade to another one, which is the Starbird Saber Core. That one was supposed to be more advanced and more highly developed and a lot better than the D3. And we're going to talk about the D3 board once we get through why they're closing. But I wanted to basically say that the Starbird is what really brought the company down, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to share that, and this is directly from their website.
And before you get into that, I want to say that I wanted to make some comments, when the time is right, regarding the development of Starbird and how I think the marketing, how they should have handled, or some of the limitations and why they had to go this route, make their own proprietary board. But go ahead.
Okay. So the Starbird Saber Core, and this is listed November 1st, 2024, so almost a year ago at this point. The Starbird Saber Core was conceptualized by Electrum to achieve a bold vision to create the most advanced, user-friendly Saber Core that the world has ever seen. Unparalleled in power, sensitivity, and adaptability, the Starbird Saber Core was promised to take your lightsaber performance to the next level. To manifest this vision, Electrum brought on the skills of a local development firm, VOG Calgary App Developers. This is another Canada-based company. The trust placed in this company was betrayed. VOG Calgary App Developers, under direction of its management at the time, delayed our project and repeatedly increased the cost for it despite an agreed upon price and scope. They withheld demonstrations and forced their developers to lie to us about the actual completion of their assigned tasks. And ultimately, they filed bankruptcy in an attempt to shield management while simultaneously taking the funding. Electrum summarized the events we knew of at the time of their closure. Electrum replaced the remaining Starbird team with a new, vetted developer with proven track record in the lightsaber community to independently review and update the Starbird core. After a thorough review of the Starbird Saber Core with our new developer, we've identified several critical issues that need to be addressed to fulfill the promises made by VOG and the former development team. Our independent review revealed that the promises and specifications provided by VOG app developers were intentionally misleading. We were assured of the technology specs and the polished capability of the platform, but critical functions need revision and hardware changes. Additionally, we have learned from insiders that VOG management secretly reassigned developers to other projects and instructed them to mislead clients and project coordinators about the actual progress under threat of job loss. So they basically said, if you don't do this, you're going to lose your job. So this company was really screwing people over on their end and on the Electrum end. It says here, Electrum. So I'm going to basically summarize. Because the Starbird Saber Core was not progressing and basically was not going to work out, I had to go back to the drawing board. Electrum tried to shift gears and rectify that by offering the Profi and the Golden Harvest V4. Anyone that had previously ordered a Starbird Saber that wasn't completed yet, they basically allowed them to choose between the Golden Harvest V4 or the Profi board with no extra charge, and they were going to basically give them that instead. And basically the Starbird was essentially scrapped. So there you have it. That is the main reason why Electrum ultimately ended up going down, is that Starbird Saber Core is what did them in. Those developers did not give them what they promised. They basically took Electrum's money, and the company did the best they could to try to be there for the customers by Dave, the co-owner, sadly had to put a second mortgage on his home, and it still ended up not working out. So this guy's losing his home. That's that's really, really unfortunate. And that really tells you the dedication and the commitment that this person had to the Saber community and his constituents. you got to respect someone that way, because anyone else would have said, well, screw it, the company's done. But this guy put a second mortgage on his home to try to save the company and still provide us a good quality product. So I know my heart goes out to him and his family. I hope everyone else feels the same. But it's really unfortunate that this Saber Core, he was trying to give us something great and innovative, and that was what brought his company down. So I'm really sad for that. And he did the best he could to try to give us an alternative. And I was really thought it was great that they were going to offer Profi and Golden Harvest, because I was not a fan of D3. But it just unfortunately just didn't work out. The bank called in the debts, and Electrum has to close its doors. But everyone else can be rest assured that they are focused on making sure that everyone that has a pre-existing order in, will get their Saber. It's just going to take some time, and communication is going to be very minimal due to legal issues.
Well, the thing is, years ago, I mean, because this has been going on for 2 or 3 years. It's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
And I had a sneaking suspicion when they started to talk about the Starbird, and they kept having Dave Craswell, kept producing videos, and he would be talking about the progress of this board and what it's going to do. And I think what they were trying to do was create something new that kind of fell in line with what Electrum Sabercrafts kind of known for, and that's if you recall, I have my Aurora here. The main control panel is touch activated. It's currently it's on.
Ooh,
I didn't know I even had
it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the way it works is you hit this, turns off, on. Yeah, that turns off, and various, either here, or here do, control things. And there's an onboard menu and whatnot. So, it's touch activated. And of course, the main selling point is it's Bluetooth accessible via an app. And that's always been very, very glitchy.
Very touch and go,
The original version, they had version 2 of the what was it called? The Infinity app? No,
it was the Unity app.
Unity app, and you can't even get that app on. You can't download it anymore. It's not even available. So,
because when they got the Golden Harvest V4, they switched to another app, and I can't remember specifically what it was called, but they have another app, and that's what they switched to. Because,
well, I also recall, there being some issue with the developer of the app had made it not available on the Apple Store or the whatever Samsung uses. I have an Android Samsung. We have a store that's not available, and and that kind of smacks a little bit of like if you recall, Saberforge has kind of transition from one board to another. They had their own proprietary Sabercore boards, and apps to access those. And if you go to Sabercore now, if you go to Saberforge now, they just use Golden Harvest. And do they use Profi, or is it just Golden Harvest?
They just have Golden Harvest, and they still have their own board, the First Harvest. That's kind of their entry level board.
So, I mean, but they don't. You can't download the apps for any of their previous boards there, and it's sort of that in itself is frustrating for people that do have the D3. Like, this is my Aurora. I've never changed anything. I have one sound font on it. I dialed one color, and I've got it working to the point where I don't mess with it because there's no point. It's so glitchy and the app doesn't work anymore. It's just like I just keep it the way it is.
Yeah, once it's functional, just leave it alone, because once you tamper with it again, it's
and you have like I can't remember if it's like Smuggler's Outpost or they sell chassis, and you can have soundboards. You can have a Profi or a CFX. I don't know if a CFX will fit in here, but you can have something installed and they put in like tactile switches, and you can reinstall these.
So
go ahead.
What was cool was, and I was glad that they dropped the Starbird thing. And honestly, I really do believe that if they did not try to pursue that to begin with,
That's my
that
point.
company, yeah, that company
You
would be
remember I
going
said
strong.
to you, I thought that they should have just abandoned that early and
Yep.
gone right to Profi or
Yes.
Golden Harvest
I agree 100%.
or CFX or something, because I think that they're just a victim of their own overachievement
Yeah. Yeah.
and their track record. I mean, I have a remnant with a D2. The D2 is just a really basic soundboard and it works, and I'm happy with it. Whatever.
Mhm.
Because I like legacy boards. I'm a
Yeah.
weirdo.
And I'm starting to really appreciate legacy boards as well.
But the D3 is a nightmare. It has some charm to it, but I mean, it doesn't have accent swings. It does. This is just a lot of things that newer saber boards do that it does not do. And I think when they started fooling around with Starbird, I just I felt like after the first year and no results, they didn't even have anything to show anybody. They just kept
Right.
talking about it. And
Well, and that was what they addressed here because they weren't the ones developing it. It was another company. And it even said here, I pull it up again. It said towards the top that they withheld demonstrations.
yeah,
So they weren't able to give the public any updates because the
they had nothing
developers
good.
withheld those demonstrations. And
Yeah.
that's really unfortunate.
So yeah, it would have been nice. I mean, they'd still be here if they had just cut their losses and switched over to a existing board. But I mean,
Mhm.
you're trying to create a product, and kudos to them.
Yeah.
Someone will eventually do it. It's probably
Yeah.
going to be one of the Chinese companies because that's all there seems to be these days.
Mhm.
Either that or CFX is finally going to have, I don't know,
And I haven't heard
record
anything about them if they're going to have
do something with
another
it.
board or anything like that. But um, here's the thing with the D3, and my biggest gripe with Electrum was that I really liked the hilts, most of them, not all of them, because they kind of had this very slim look to them, and kind of similar to Saber Trio, where they take canon hilts, but they kind of do their own unique evolution or spin on that hilt.
Well, that's why I like the Aurora, because it's basically just Obi-Wan's.
Obi-Wan, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
And same with the Evo Flex. It's like an anti-flex
I
essentially.
have an Evo Flex, and it's basically just if you want to get yourself a what do they call it, a scrap flex.
Scrap Flex. Yep,
Well, it
that's
is.
it. Yep.
It's a really nice scrap flex.
Yeah. And so I like that. And I said from years ago when I first got my Remnant that I wish, because I did not like the D3 board.
And the Remnant's a beautiful
I
hill.
think the concept was great. I think it was revolutionary for its time period, but it was just too glitchy. And I think someone made a comment about that. Yeah, Tirfon Orbital said that it's always glitchy, the app and the board itself. And for me, you could find another saber, whether it be Saber Forge, it didn't matter what it was. Even at the time of the LGT boards, which were much cheaper then, out of the box, it was just a great saber that you could swing and not have to have the headache of having to tweak things. And I just didn't like how the D3 required so much effort to get it the way you wanted, just to do basic functions. Where the LGT stuff was, you could pay half the price and boom, it's doing more than the D3 was. If I'm going to put that kind of work in, it's going to be like a Profi, not a cheap board like D3. So I said if they just offered empty hilts, which Electrum eventually did do, they did get to the empty hilts, but they didn't do that until Starbird was a failure, and then they started offering that. And I even saw a video on their YouTube page, or not, on their YouTube channel, that how to change out the original D3 board and put in their Profi Core or the Golden Harvest Core. And I thought, and it was very simple and easy. It was almost as easy as swapping out an LGT core. If they had just gone to that system sooner, Electrum would still be with us today.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. And when I think about Electrum, I like their hilts. I mean, there's very few. that I disliked. Let's see. We'll go
What
to the shop here and we'll
what
look at some of these.
what
So I
what
thought the Torrent was great. I was a big fan of the Torrent. Not so much the Aegis. The Renegade was one of their more recent models right here. And the nice thing about the Renegade was you could change out parts on the emitter. Uh, you could do these claws. You could do other scoops. Let me just select this here, and then it'll allow me to. Of course, these are up
it's a
there.
very
Select product
oh,
combinations currently
huh?
available. Um, but there's options to be able to pick different parts on there. I can't really see it here, but anyway, there was ways to do different claws and things like that for the emitter. So I thought that was nice. The Scion was a good twist on
Ben's
Kylo Ren before Ben Solo, I should say.
yeah.
Um, one of the more recent ones was this Journey lightsaber. I like that one too. It almost looks like an episode 1 and 2 Obi-Wan when he was an apprentice. And then of course you had their version of the dark saber. This is the one I didn't particularly care for, the Neophyte. It was cheap, but it definitely looked cheap. So I wasn't a fan of that one, nor was I a fan of the Legiant. Aurora, of course, beautiful saber. Evo Flex, I liked very much. Remnant was probably my favorite, and then the Torrent was probably my second favorite. So they had some good saber options, and I would gladly take any of those and put something else in there. If they had just gave us that option of doing empty hilt or different boards sooner, I think that the company would be a little bit better off right now.
I think one of the things that makes them shine as far as what the services they provided was customization options. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't think that there's too many companies that beat their customization options. You get like a weathered saber. I mean, you have from Saberforge, you have 3 different hilt types. You have the basic one, black anodized, and
And
the
the weather,
weather, which is
and their
basically
weather doesn't look good.
gray.
It's just more grinded
But
down.
they would. I wish I had dug out my EvoFlex because I have an EvoFlex that it looks like it was dropped into lava. It's pitted and scarred and melted, and I mean it's a great hilt, but the amount of effort that they put into making that thing look like it had been through hell and back. I mean,
Yeah,
if you can kind of see um that just the this is your basic weathering without any real battle damage, and
but
you can
but it
see.
looks actually weathered, not just grinded on a lathe like what Saberforge does.
Yeah, sometimes Saberforge, because of the nature of the hilt,
The hilts, yeah,
you know,
sometimes it works.
you
I
know,
will agree with that.
yeah, it looks a lot better. Like I have a few of their hilts, but generally that kind of it looks like they just spun on a lathe with some sandpaper. Look
Hmm.
doesn't really work for me, but
Yeah,
no, I mean they're
yeah.
customizations, and some of the before we got basically before Emery told me, he did the research that people were going to be getting their hilts. I saw so many sob stories about like I saw someone that had they were going to be customizing their Renegade to look like a Predator hilt, and he
Ooh.
had gone to the point of drawing all the details and provided Electrum with a picture. Like they actually drew a wonderful drawing in full color. This is what he wanted to look like, and he wanted to have kind of like where the wrap is. It was going to be wrapped in leather, kind of like a katana, and it just it and and the person has invested $800 into this.
Ooh.
And just, to think that there was a possibility that they were not going to get their hilt or their money back because there's all kinds of question marks for like 2 weeks before
Yeah.
anybody, this is the answers you're getting right now because, who has the time to go and like do the research and read this stuff? But,
Hmm.
and, I don't know. Plus, I had seen people that sent their hilts in for repairs. They didn't know if they were going to get their hilt back. Some people have been told that everything was done and it was going to ship any day, and that didn't happen. And it's just the whole gambit. I probably read on Facebook on the Electrum Sabercraft owners page no fewer than 30 different stories that were just like heartbreaking because I've been through that. I went through that with Revan sabers. They were making a custom Terra Malachite. Was that you?
The saber powered off that I had sitting on my desk here.
It's gotta happen. They
Yeah.
were making a custom Terra Malachite hilt, and then they just before they closed their shop and they disappeared off the face of the earth and walked away with $500 of my dollars, and I'm not, and I and just never returned any of my. That was it. I'm out $500. So I
Yeah.
I feel for these people because this was like a Revan Sabers was an Etsy store. They were out of the UK, and I've let it go. But to see an established company that's been around since I started the hobby, I
Yeah.
mean,
But
that
yeah, before I did any videos, I got my first saber. Electrum was running live and well.
that Aurora was like one of my first custom sabers, and I've had my issues with it, but like for the most part, one of Arctique.
Yeah, which he was in here earlier.
He has an Aurora that he's customized and
He
customized.
weathered his himself, and his looks great. And he sent
But
me instructions on how to weather it. Nice.
I mean, he literally like had that reinstalled. He's from one end to the other. He's completely customized over the course of like 2 years. Every time I would see him posting something on Facebook, it was like, oh, "What
Yeah,
did you do to your Aurora now?" I haven't done anything to mine
he
because
debuted his first Froze font with that hilt.
yeah, and I don't know. It just hurts to see people going through this, especially now
Yeah.
with things the way they are. You just want someone to like get something nice, and I really want people to get their hilts. I want like resolution for everybody, and my heart goes out to all the people that are just kind of like panicking right now. Hopefully, a lot of these people are watching this video and are learning that there's a potential for light at the end of the tunnel and some, but I think it's going to take a while.
Yeah,
I think we're looking at probably like a couple of years of
I think so. I'd say at least a year, which is
and
unfortunate.
that sucks because a lot of people have been waiting since like 23. One person was waiting like 30 months. It's just like I can't, like, if I were to buy a saber from Vader's vault or a
You'd wait a
situation
year.
like
Yeah.
that where it's gonna take 2 or 3 years, I can't guarantee I'm gonna live that long. What's to spend like, well, plus I don't have like $1,000 to spend on a hill, but like I'd rather see it like in my hand, which is why I buy a lot of my stuff secondhand.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's the
uh,
thing. I think some people thought, oh, the company went under because of bad practices or Dave didn't know what he was doing. Now, I will say the guy was definitely awkward. He didn't really present things well in his videos, and it kind of felt uncomfortable. The other guy the other owner in the beginning, I think his name was Curtis.
oh no.
I can't remember his name, but he
Yeah,
was
more je ne sais
he was
quoi.
much more personable. I think he was more the mastermind behind the D3 and getting all those things to work well.
No offense, Dave.
But once he moved on, I think that's when we saw a real shift in Electrum, where
Yeah.
things just weren't as good. Okay, yeah, it was Curtis. Yeah, so I think once he moved on, that's when we really noticed Electrum kind of take a bit of a dive and struggle a bit, and I think that's also why it went on to let's develop Starbird and outsource it because the person who did Diadium and did all that was gone. So Dave had to outsource, and I think Curtis was really the mastermind behind all of that. And I think Dave kind of handled more of the business end, and then Curtis handled more of the tech and development and all that stuff. So I think when Curtis left, there was a huge shift. So
As happens, I mean, where I work, my company that I work for is under new ownership, and it's just these are these are things that happen.
Yeah. But I want to make it clear to the public that the end of this company is as far as we know, is of no fault of Electrum itself. I think he trusted the fate of developing to powers beyond his control, and they unfortunately took advantage of his company, his situation, and they had bad business practices on their end, and unfortunately, Electrum is the one that had to pay the price for it, and that's really really unfortunate because it seemed like he had a legit company. Like I said, they've been around for at least 10 years, and they produced good sabers, and they also got them out at a reasonable time when they were in production.
Yeah, they did him wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a damn shame that there isn't a way to like preserve the company. And I mean, so many companies have gone under. Bendu Armory,
We've lost
Jansen
Bendu. Yeah,
Custom
we've lost
Sabers,
GCS. Well, we didn't lose GCS, but GCS just decided to close its doors, and that's unfortunate too. I mean, and I get it. I mean, he was a one man, he was a one pop shop, and
Can
get
I
to a
say
point where you
something
just
to
want to move
Rob?
on and do something else. You know.
Can I say something to Rob? You know, it would be nice, and I'm not dictating terms, but it would be nice if just occasionally, if he does feel like scrounging up a couple hilts, if they could just be,
Simple
something
and
affordable.
not $3,000 elaborations.
$2,000 to $4,000 hilt. And I understand, like, the work that you do is impeccable.
Yes, it is.
Since I received my Ascend, which was, I think, probably, if not the last hilt he produced, it was definitely one of the last handful. I have been completely dedicated to that hilt, and I'm just, it's like one of my favorite possessions, knowing that I acquired that from Genesis Custom Sabers, and you can't get one now. But it would be nice if, like, occasionally, if he like made, like, 5 or 6, and he made them, like, even if they were like upwards to $1,000, would probably be.
This is what I think Rob really should have done, and I would have really appreciated this, rather than just completely shut his doors, or just do the annual sweepstakes. Sorry, you have to basically raffle or do a sweepstakes for a chance
Which is
to
essentially
purchase
what he's
his
doing.
$3,000 specialty hilt. I would love to have seen him just say, "Hey, I'm not going to be taking regular orders," just like with the bad axe. The bad axe wasn't always possible to just order. You had to wait until he did a batch. He would do his run, and then he would cut that off for like a year or two, and then he'd bring back another batch or do another run. I wish he would just do that with his whole shop. Hey, I'm going to release 2 hilts or whatnot. You've got a 3-month window to put in your order, and then once that's done, you don't get another shot until like the next year or 2 years, and then he does another run. But make them like achievable hilts, like, in that 500 or less range, not the $2,000 got a pearl and gold and all that stuff. I don't need to be that bougie. I just want his nice quality, because Genesis Custom Sabers, I mean, of all the hilts in my collection, his is by far the nicest that I have, from install to the
durability,
all of it.
I mean,
I don't have a Vader's Vault or a new one. I'm sure that they're up there too, but as far as I know, Genesis GCS is the top tier for me.
Another saber company that we lost, and this was like a year or two ago, was JQ Sabers, which is one of the ones that's more known. But the weird thing about JQ Sabers is he closed the store. I can't remember his name, which I should remember because I talked to him so much. But his wife passed away, so he closed up the shop. But he's still making hilts. He's still doing commissions, as is Shamim.
He's still.
I saw Shamim did an install of someone for a Saberforge Gladius, and put in like a Profi board, and like he took this beat up old Gladius and like polished it up and just got it all like tuned up, and installed it for someone. So Shamim is doing commissions, and that's really reassuring because he's OG.
Yes, he
Like
is.
to the nth degree. I mean, he was around back because you were talking about Sidious the other day. Does everybody remember Sidious?
Sidious
I know
Sabers.
does. And I've always wondered what the hell happened to that guy. I've heard, rumors here or there, but I've always been kind of worried about his well-being. I don't, care about like what he's, like I just wanted to know, yeah, he's okay, he's alive and well somewhere. But he just disappeared off the face of the earth, and he didn't look like he was the healthiest person. But and kind of, I don't know if you want to segue, but like just the changes in the saber community, that's like a topic maybe we can cover on another live stream, or we can just discuss it now. But whatever your plan was.
It's been so long since we've done this. There is no plan. But I did add to the ticker below the lightsaber companies that have become one with the Force. Electrum Sabercrafts, Genesis Custom Sabers, JQ Sabers, Revan Sabers, Bendu Armory. If there's anyone else you can think of, I'll add them to the list.
Yeah, please do, because...
Are there any other companies out there that any of you are familiar with or fans with that are no longer with us that we can add to our list here? But
there are probably some companies that everyone is surprised still exists, like Ultra Sabers.
It's funny. Are they seriously still around? Let's talk about Ultra Sabers for a hot minute. Are they still around? Are people still buying from them?
Yeah. They offer Profi Sabers now. They have Neopixel.
Well, everyone had to jump on board, because if you don't, I mean,
they still have the same. Like if you go to Saberforge's website, you probably won't recognize a lot of the stuff that they have is like changed to like mass production fare, and they've been doing that. They've been like decommissioning hilt. I mean, you can't even get like there were so many amazing hilts that they did that you can't get now. That just it's
Saberforge has streamlined so much now. I almost don't even recognize the company.
And everything is just sort of like, their installs, they didn't really do installs, just like Ultra Sabers. But I mean, everything's cores. And I'm like, like you got to have a refined process. Like Genesis Custom Sabers, he has a chassis and he has a certain system that he's created. They're my favorite chassis. I mean, I open up I should just go get my damn Ascend. Does anybody want me to go get my Ascend? I just want to show you.
The only issue that I have with Rob's or GCS Sabers is that he does his own stuff. So, for instance, I got my Bad Axe, and I wanted to do a removable speaker with an audio jack, so I could plug it into a speaker and do direct input when I record my videos. He used a very specific connector for his speaker, and I had to look all over the internet to find the right connector. And then when I got it, I couldn't just buy like one or two. I had to buy like a bulk order of like 100 in order to get the order out. But I eventually got that. But so you can't just go to like Custom Saber Shop and some other, which he used to work for. You can't go to those places and get parts for his stuff. So that's the only issue that I have with Rob things. But it also makes him more exclusive. So if you want work done, you got to send it directly back to him, which of course takes time because he's, a one-man shop.
I think he has a person that's doing the work for him now.
An apprentice?
No, I think it was like an established, kind of like Saber Trio uses someone stateside to do like some of the repair work.
Scott, right there. Someone said, "Get the Ascent." Of course, it's good old Ike. He said, "Get the Ascent."
I'll be back. I gotta go upstairs.
Keep in mind, folks. I did message him earlier today and say, "Hey, you should have your the Electrum Sabercraft or your sabers at the ready.
You
Keep in
said
mind,
Electrum Sabercrafts. This is a
this is
Genesis.
a GCS. I
You're
understand, but
completely,
have
totally wrong.
sabers
Hey,
at
you
the
know what?
ready.
Like, I don't
Have
know what you're
sabers
talking
at
about.
the ready.
Look, I am downstairs. In case anybody has noticed, this is a completely different venue. This is the apartment downstairs. This is the junk room.
Ooh.
Bougie.
Yeah,
The
okay.
reason why I'm down here is because the router is directly above me.
Better connection. You know, I was gonna say your connection looks really solid this time.
Yeah. So shut up.
Hey, just go get it.
All right, I'm going. Damn, what a bunch.
So DPIB is going to go get his GCS Ascend. While he does that, you are stuck with just me. So we were talking about Saberforge a little bit there, and they have definitely revamped and redone what they're doing. I think a lot of these companies are kind of slowly dying. I think the era of custom sabers is really gone. The only people who do custom sabers are guys like Solo Sabers or Jeremy. Those are custom sabers because he is building those and doing them, from not necessarily from scratch, but he's giving you something unique that no one else has. If you're ordering a saber that someone else can also order, it is not custom. The only thing that makes it custom is if you can really. I mean, Saber Steel might be the closest to a mass-produced custom saber because you can choose the color and design of the hilt. You can change the switch. You can change the belt clip. All those things. So that's a bit more on the custom side because maybe not every saber is going to be exactly the same. Everyone has the same options, but no one's going to do it the same. You can customize it. That's what makes it custom. But anything from like Dark Wolf or what's the one Theory Sabers, all the ones that are coming from the Chinese market, those are not custom because it's just stock. You can't change or customize the hilt. Yes, Vader's Vault also, I believe, does fall into the custom saber realm because you can actually customize and make changes to the hilt. It's not just stock. And the way they do it, they're not just putting it down on the assembly line like something like maybe Saberforge would do. You've got one individual who's sitting there and doing your whole saber from the ground up. All right, so you have returned with the Ascend.
I have.
Thanks, Artik. I got to say, I am no longer in Belgium. I am back in the U.S. now. So I should probably tell the whole public that I was in Europe for 7 years. I did 3 years in Germany when I first started my channel. And then I moved to Belgium. I was there for 4 years. And now my duties have brought me back to the United States. And I am now currently in the same time zone as all of you and my good buddy over here, which is great.
Tell where you're living.
So I am in Kentucky. I'm like an hour from Louisville, of all places. So, all right, so let's show us your Ascend, Scott.
All right, well, I kind of did. So anyway, this is more or less kind of standard for Rob's installs. The Bad X is the one exception. So you see you have this basic core here. Mm-hmm. Everything's connected.
Oh, this is one of his older installs.
Well, no, this is what he does, and it's
really he still uses those tubes to cover. Okay.
Yep, and he's got the plastic, and you've got your you get the gold. The CFX is here, SD card, removable battery with a little pull tab, and that's it. It's like it's really simple, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just slide it in, and he usually sends you two batteries and a recharger. So I've got like a couple thousand rechargers. And this one I got a baselet because I don't know, I use these blades by I can't remember.
Yes, I'm at Fort Knox.
Yeah, that's an Etsy store that I always buy my blades from. Anyway, they're like nice little sanded blades. It's a 30-inch.
Yeah,
And
Rob knows blades. He knows how to do blades right. I
this
learned
isn't
how to actually
this isn't
construct and
Rob.
make my first NeoPixel blade from him.
This isn't Rob. This is like an Etsy store that I always get
Oh,
my.
you actually just said that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I can't fucking I. I'm actually gonna look it up. I think the blades are great, but anyway.
Saber Trio still makes, in my opinion, the best blades without having to do anything to them.
They do make excellent NeoPixel blades. This is Extraneous by K-Sith. It's kind of the go-to for this one. Anyway, so I've got this thing loaded with all of Rob's sound fonts.
I like that choke on there.
Every single one of his sound fonts that's actually a sound font. I mean, Flourish isn't on here because Flourish is not a smooth swing sound font. It's just a legacy sound font. I've got that on my Veda's Vault. One of my Ardents. I've got an Ardent with like a Crystal Focus 9 or something, and that sound font works really well. And then he's got a couple of sound fonts which are sort of experimental, but everything else is on here. And yeah, I am a proud owner of this hilt, and I will never part with it.
So tell us, the general public here, Scott. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have the entire GCS lineup, correct?
I have
not his special run.
I do not.
Like,
I've got a Bad Axe. I've got the Vector, which he didn't make. He had stopped making that like
a couple years ago.
The Ascend was the last one I wanted. I mean, the only one I didn't really get was a Creed Axe, and I probably would have gotten a Creed Axe at some point if he had stayed in business.
But it's essentially a bad. I mean, but I'm saying like
it's a hybrid.
I'm saying his base runs like you have. Oh,
yeah, I've got him.
Is that what 4 or 5? Did you even get his corn horn, the speeder? You got the speeder too, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a speeder.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're one of the few. I think the only one who might also have the entire run is Daywan Gray or whatever his name was.
I've seen a few videos of people that like have like his
the whole lineup.
I don't know. I'm just thoroughly addicted. In fact,
very few can say that though.
I would love to get like all the different variations. I was trying to buy the normal standard finish version of the Ascend from someone on Facebook, but it just didn't work out because some people just, I don't know, banking mostly. But no, I feel good with what I have, and I just recently got a Vader's Vault Elite with CFX. I bought that from it was like a local purchase. I got that from someone in my neighborhood in Springfield, and that thing's a marvelous hilt. It's so nice, but haven't bought anything for a few months. But yeah. Yeah, but then again, I like mostly, for the most part, I shop around, and I look for deals because,
yeah,
I go to Vader's Vault website and I look at the Ardents and I'm like $994. Totally worth it, but like I don't have that kind of money,
Yeah, especially in this day and age. I mean, lightsabers are. Let's get real, everyone. Lightsabers are just toys. Now, they mean something to us, but at the end of the day, it's really just a toy. And so some people are willing to spend, and it's important to them to spend to have the most realistic bougie thing. It's not that important to me. I would rather have 5 to 10 sabers that I like that are middle of the road, and I can sample and try different styles and things than to have one or two that are like $2,000 that have 14 karat gold and all this stuff. That is of no importance or value to me. For me, it's the quality and design of the hilt, and then do I get my basic features? And I think now we're at a point where lightsabers have advanced so much, very little wows us. And I think Stock Custom Works, he's I think the last one to actually do something innovative. And now he's got this thing where you can basically have Bluetooth wireless connectivity to like a speaker with almost zero lag, and it sounds great. And it's something, it's like a transmitter that you can put on the saber, and that's something that I would like to eventually do. But I remember when Bluetooth was like a big deal, trying to like install. I actually tried to install a saber with Bluetooth, and it's so tiny, and now it just comes standard on hilts. I mean, the Chinese market. I mean, you're getting Bluetooth standard on hilts now. So lightsabers used to be like a diamond, and now when diamonds are for everyone, they kind of lose their precious metal status. So
it just occurred to me as like I've been talking about like hey, I got like an Arden, and I've got my Ascend, and I got I recently got a DV6 Vader, which oh my god, I love that thing. It's so cool. But then I've also picked up sabers from Damien Saber. I picked up some LGT hilts, and I almost kind of don't even they almost don't even like I don't even feel like I need to talk about them, even though they're nice hilts.
Yeah, I mean, and they're coming out with great stuff. I mean, the fact now that you can get these removable cores on LGT stuff, even if it's a baselet, you still got like. I ordered this one from Dark Wolf. It's the Eno Cordova hilt. It's beautiful hilt.
It's gorgeous. I mean, for a thin neck, that's I would love to get one of those.
It is great, and I like that. I'm not a D-ring person, but this D-ring is really nice, and it doesn't move around when you swing it. It doesn't clang and make noise. It's just a beautiful hilt. But now you've got these removable cores,
and they're gold, and they got like
gold. Yeah, I mean, and you've got the battery in there that's got like a little crystal on there.
They got the little wrap on there, and
I mean, these are great. They have kill switches and everything.
They have the LEDs. Turn the core on outside of the hilt.
Oh yeah,
there's what the fuck this thing does.
There's LEDs along the side, so if I can. Yeah, like that on the side there. That's so cool.
And the system is, it has the pogo pins that connects to the, inside the hilt, and then it's just like every other install that I mean, it's good stuff. I have right now. I have 3 hilts that do that. I got myself an Acolyte Jackie. Don't ask me why. I really like that hilt.
I like the hilt too. Honestly, I like most of the Acolyte hilts.
I'd love to get the Stranger, and I heard that they're actually bringing that show back. I don't know if it's bullshit, but whatever.
There's been talks. I don't think the show's going to come back, but I think they're trying to make it relive in like a comic series or maybe even possibly an animated something. We'll see. I doubt that'll happen, but yeah.
So I've got the Jackie. I've got an Imperial Knight Saber, which I really love the Imperial Knight design because it's sort of like jives with a Qui-Gon. For some reason, I can't keep a Qui-Gon working. I have is it JR Sabers? Qui-Gon? It just died.
Oh yeah.
It just one day I'm turning on, nothing. And I'm like, the battery's fine. It won't recharge. It has a short in it somewhere. And I cannot keep a Qui-Gon working. Anyway, so I've got this. You'd love it. You with your love of D-rings. And of course everything's upstairs. And they put a D-ring that's so big on it. It's like a hoop ring. It's it's so big, and I'm like, I want to replace it. And you can just kind of unscrew it and take it off and like throw it in the trash and put a new one on there. But and then I've got the saber from the what was the pirate thing?
Oh yeah,
Skeleton
from
Crew.
um,
Skeleton Crew.
from Skeleton Crew. Yeah, honestly, I like that saber.
That saber is really nice. I mean, and they're all, and the amount of like the quality. I mean, there's like nothing flaw. There's no flaws in it at all. Like
Mhm.
how do they manage to mass produce something without flaws? I don't I don't understand. We can't do that here, but they're doing it there. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense.
I want to quickly address Fanporium here. He was saying how um, you're seeing more reviews of cheaper sabers like the plastic toys. I didn't know that because I've been kind of not been paying attention too much, but I actually have um, the I think it's the Hasbro or the original plastic ones when the prequels were out in the theaters. And so since I moved, I had a box full of those. I've got Darth Maul. I think I've got Luke and Dooku. I should do reviews on those.
Like a whole series.
Yeah, just for the heck of it. There's a whole series of all that old stuff. I mean, that came out back in 2000, whatever, in 1999. Because what Phantom Menace was 1999. Yeah, that's when I bought that mall. So that'd be kind of cool to do some legacy reviews on those.
I
It might
I
even be
never
worth money now. Who knows?
I never bought any of that stuff. Like my first saber that I ever bought,
That was my first lightsaber.
was that Master Replicas or whatever the Force Effects Anakin,
Mm,
which I
okay.
still have and still works because that's the kind of guy I am. I got that at Media Play in the Hadley Mall, the Hampshire Mall in Hadley, Massachusetts. Like, anybody remember Media Play? Hasn't existed for like 15 years. Or probably like 20 or 25. I don't know. I'm old. Methuselah.
Oh. Methuselah.
I am ancient.
Jane Pittman.
Something complete.
Methuselah. Yeah, I released,
Methuselah.
that'd be hilarious. Darth Methuselah. I had released this video last night. I did this review when I was in Belgium like a year and a half ago, and I was going to include my thoughts on Electrum Sabercrafts, and that's why I didn't put the review up because I never took the time to record my thoughts on Electrum Sabercrafts. And then I knew we were going to do this live stream, so I thought, okay, I'll just save my thoughts for the live stream and then tag the live stream to the video and just throw up the review. So that was what I did last night, and it turned out
there are 3
pretty good.
windows in the emitter.
But I mean, the
It did
remnant
come with a
is
thumb screw.
I love the
I think
foreign
I always
soundtrack.
prefer.
an absolute
And notice
beautiful
these
hilt.
little
Yeah, baby.
etched in lines
One of the most comfortable
across
hilts that I've
the
ever
copper
used. Or
I really like the performance of the remnant. It's very realistic in
And I do
design.
like
It seems
the-
very practical and
the
something that a
shallow,
Jedi would actually
you know, I'm not a,
construct and use as a weapon. The grenade
call
grip
those,
is so incredibly comfortable. It just feels
the
natural
control
in your
box
hands.
fan.
The diameter
Well, it
is
great
a
on
good
this.
size, and how it when it comes to swinging the saber, again, it feels comfortable, but the sound of the board, and there's just so many customization options. If you're willing to put in that extra work, maybe you can find the value in this, but I feel that LGT, Golden Harvest, Profi especially, most definitely Crystal Focus 10, Asteria. So all in all, the hilt design, I think, is very, very nice. I'm just not really impressed by the soundboard D3, and I think they could do much better, especially for what they charge you for the saber. I wish they offered these empty, because I would be more inclined to get an empty hilt than one that's already installed. And why spend that money for a fully installed saber just to send it off to another sabersmith to gut it and then pay more money for a better install. So There's where I have a few issues with this saber. But overall, I mean, the hilt design is just awesome. I mean, if I were going to go into battle with something, this is something that I would want in my hands because it just feels like I have the control that I need. Not only does it feel good, but it also looks good too. So, enough on the hilt. Let's dive into Electrum Sabercrafts, my thoughts on them, and the Diadem 3 soundboard.
All right, so how does the thumb screw on the emitter of that look like a Dalek? Oh, I want to know because, like, damn, I don't have any of my Daleks in this room. I've got a lot of Daleks.
I don't even know what a Dalek is.
You don't know what a Dalek is?
No,
Fuck. Seriously, dude. Would you like me to explain? Would you like me to elaborate?
Enlighten us, please. He said, "How dare you?"
So there's a planet called Skaro, and there was a race of called the.
First, where did you grab this knowledge? Like, is this in a series, a book, or what?
You really don't know what series this comes from? Doctor Who?
Oh, yeah, I've never. We had this discussion before. I've never watched Doctor Who.
So there's a race called the Kalids, and then they had a mad scientist named Davros, and Davros was kind of a madman. We all know about the madmen now, don't we? They're everywhere. Anyway, so he kind of helped the Kalids along in their evolution to try to create the ultimate race in the universe without any feelings or emotions other than hatred. Weird. And he came up with Daleks, which is not which is a palindrome of Kalid. And so well, it's not a palindrome because that would be a palindrome of Bolton would be Nutlob. No, you know what I'm trying to say. It's just like a reversal almost. And the Daleks have been a Doctor Who staple villain. Basically, he created these mutants that live inside an armored shell. And
does this sum it up? 1960s robots with plungers as weapons.
Yeah, I would assume that the screw would be the eye stock. A Dalek is basically just a cylindrical kind of a thing with a round dome on it. They have an eye stock and two either a manipulator and a beam weapon or variations thereof, and they're basically just they've always been the ultimate enemy in Doctor Who. And you could say that their Doctor Who is the Doctor, not Doctor Who. No one calls him Doctor Who. He's called the Doctor. His arch nemesis has always been the Daleks. And at one point, the Daleks and the Time Lords, the race of which the Doctor belongs to, had a big war called the Time War, and that's where they essentially at one point it was believed that they had wiped each other out. And if you watch the series, you realize that's just not true. And so I appreciate the Dalek reference because, I mean, we could talk about sabers again if you like.
Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. That's what they came here for.
Park sabers. So you did add one.
Yep, I did add them. Yeah, that was Paul.
Okay.
On that one. Yep. Wow. So it has been some time since we have done a live stream. The fact that we went like 2 seconds of silence. It's like, what do we do? We're talking about now.
The beer is starting to take effect. I mean,
I'm on my second one. Although the beer is not as strong here. I mean, in Belgium, I would drink one.
You're not in Belgium, are you?
No, I'm not. I've got this weak 4% beer here.
4%.
What is this? This is the
9.1.
Sam Adams Jacko. 4.4%.
So you're
I'm
in Kentucky.
used to 7% and higher beers.
You're in Kentucky drinking Sam Adams.
Hey,
I'm like,
I cannot go hard on bourbon right now. I'm not even a bourbon drinker to begin. I'm sure I will be after some time, but
well, I mean,
I'll do the bourbon trail eventually.
You should be able to get a good deal on bourbon since like we can't export bourbon to anywhere anymore since whatever. But I'm 2 hours away from Boston and I don't drink that shit. I can't. I just Sam Adams. Just I can't. I just can't.
I only got it because it's a pumpkin ale, and I wanted to.
Oh yeah, you gotta do the pumpkin ale thing at least.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't drink this regular Sam. Although on Fort Knox at the base, we do have a Sam Adams brew house, and beer's not bad there. Like the Oktoberfest beer is actually pretty good.
I mean, if you're getting it directly from the brewery,
yeah, because they brew it there, and it's actually good.
So they have one on base.
Mm-hmm.
What a deal, huh?
I know. It's not far from my house.
We're gonna feed the troops and get them liquored up.
Hey, an army runs on a stomach, right?
It does. I mean, that's actually that's pretty freaking cool. I wish you were at the brewery with it was myself, my friend Mike, and Francis. We were there.
I eventually want to make a trip up there and visit you, Scott. For starters, I would love to see Boston again. I've only been once, and that was, gosh, over 15 years ago. And love to get a visit and hang with you.
Boston? So
yeah. So I think one of these days I'll take a weekend up there, go up to Boston.
Me personally,
I'm sorry, I said Boston, I meant Boston. Got the Boston.
I love to. It's like I haven't been to New York City in so long, but Boston's a nice place to visit. They've done a lot. They've done a lot of renovating, like the wharf areas and whatever. It's really beautiful. So there's like a lot of really cool areas.
The best chowder I ever had was when I was in Boston.
Chowder.
Chowder.
That's if you're gonna get chowder, it's gotta be from New England. I love myself a good New
England chowder.
I almost got some last night, but instead I went with some kind of chicken club sandwich because they didn't really have much of a selection. The thing about the Northampton Brewery is they have, like, during the summertime they have an outdoor section which is to die for, and the dining areas. They have a dining area which is kind of like, you get like a fireplace on one end, and it's really kind of nice ambience. It's a little bit expensive, but I didn't have to pay because yesterday was my birthday.
Hey, that's right! Happy birthday!
You had a fucking birthday. Good for you. Why don't you shut up?
Happy birthday!
Yeah, it's nice having. And then we went to walk around Northampton a little bit. We went to Harold's Ice Cream, got some teeny tiny little cups of ice cream, and it's a good time.
So, DPIB, we've got a question here. Well,
relevant to
it's
the
presented as a sentence or as a statement, but it's a question. Guys, what are your top 3 sabers in your collection?
Wow, 3.
Yes, we did talk about Electrum Sabers. Pretty much the first 30 to 40 minutes was all Electrum.
Yeah.
So our top 3. So for me, my number 1 is my Genesis Custom Sabers Bad Axe. I absolutely love that curved hilt lightsaber. I would say, in no particular order now, this is a tough one because I've got a lot of them. Well, you've got way more sabers than I do, Scott, and I've sold some of mine. Gosh. My Saber Trio Reaver. That's definitely, even though it's still out of commission, I need to send that into Saber Trio to get that. I might just have it upgraded to a power core and just call it done. Even though I really like the original setup, I think I might just have it upgraded while it's out. But yeah, my Saber Trio Reaver, that's up. That's in my top 3. And I'd probably say My Saberforge Exalted.
Yeah. It's
He says only 3. So he's really putting the putting the grind on us.
it's probably no surprise, but right now for me, it would have to be my Ascend, and it's funny, I have 2 Ardents. One is an older Ardent with a legacy board. It's just like a single color, red. But like I said, I put Rob's floor sound font on that, and I love it. I am not addicted to smooth swing. I just like swinging that thing around. It's baselit. It's a thin neck. It's just so comfortable to wield. I really love that Vader's Vault Ardent. It's with a black finish.
Okay.
And I've got my third.
When the shout out to legacy boards, because legacy boards are awesome today, especially with all of the new advanced stuff we've got now. And I do appreciate a nice legacy board, especially the maker of CFX. I forgot that yellow toast. I forgot what you call it, but Plector Labs. Yes, yeah. All of their older boards, I just love them. They're great.
Which takes me to my third. Is I have a Saberforge Bastion installed with a Nano Biscotti 2. And I just, again, it's a single color red. I don't know. I've been rocking the red lately. That's just been the mood I've been in. And to me, it's just about the comfort of the hilt. I've got the right blade in it. Nice, lightweight, perfectly weighted blade, so you get the perfect balance. And they're just simple. And they just keep going and going. So I mean, the Ascend has a CFX in it, and notice none of them are NeoPixel. I mean, I like NeoPixel, but none of my favorite sabers are any of my NeoPixel. Okay, I will say if I had to pick a fourth, it would definitely be that DV6, that Vader, which is NeoPixel. It has a 7/8 inch blade. That thing is like weathered. It is such a. It's not the most comfortable saber because it's a classic movie saber, so it has all the greebles and stuff on it. But it is so nice. It's probably like my favorite movie related saber that I've ever picked up. Yeah.
So speaking of legacy boards, I don't know, Scott, you're in agreement with me on this one. One of the greatest ones, I think, and I still think holds up to this day, and that is the Nano Biscotti V4.
The V3 and the V4.
Yeah, I think the V3 has 1 or 2 fonts, and the V4 has 3 fonts.
V3 has 2 sound fonts and it lacks a mute. Okay. V4 has a mute
and 3 sound fonts.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is so satisfying and responsive that you do not even miss the smooth swing.
Yeah, and you can fine tune it. Like the if you go onto the board, you go to like customize the
you can change the thresholds and things like that.
Yeah. It's so easy to fine tune that. And
yeah. But here's I did a video apparently back in 2023. And I was talking about, do these older legacy boards still stand up today? And I believe they do. Even now that we're almost approaching 2026, I still think that legacy boards like Nano Biscotti V4, the good ones, still hold up.
Also known as NBV4 as its abbreviation. This soundboard supports NeoPixel, which is highly sought after in lightsaber tech today. Kind of gives you the most realism in your lightsaber. It also supports RGB, flash on clash of a different color, and tri-cree LEDs. as well as all the different kinds of LEDs that are available to this day. It comes with a removable SD card. So you can use this to customize configuration files on the inside, as well as the 3 sound fonts that it comes with. This comes with light meat, gray meat, and dark meat. But if you don't like those fonts, you can just take this SD card out, put it into a card reader in your computer, and you can always adjust and change those sound fonts to something that you may like. A lot of fonts are available at saberfont.com, so many people who have this soundboard were swapping out fonts on a regular basis. However, it was limited to just
Swing
those
this
3.
bad boy.
Tap it once, and it boots right up. I want you to just take a moment and listen to how responsive the swings are on this soundboard.
I mean, that's pretty damn good.
It responds so well to every movement that I make, you almost don't miss the smooth swing. Now,
Yeah, so I've always liked a Nano Biscotti, and honestly, I was originally going to sell that saber. I'm not going to do that.
No.
I was, and I actually put
friends.
I almost did. It was last year, 2 years ago. I almost sold. I had someone who wanted it, and I was getting ready to sell it, and then they saw something else that I had that they liked more, and they didn't. But
I've got mine, but the problem is the 3D part for the pommel, for the emitter the whatever pommel.
Yeah,
it broke, and I had the spare, and it broke too.
Oh no! Now I have a 3D printer. I could do another one. Only problem is I need the file. I don't know how that one looked. And I think we got those from oh gosh, that was on what, Etsy? We got it from the guy who does the fonts now. Blue Force.
Blue Force.
Is he still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's still open, but I mean, yeah, it's just like that's the thing is I installed I got a K-Sith has a legacy sound font collection. I put his older version of Alliance on my Bastion, and it makes
he optimized them too. They work really well.
He made a Alliance is a surprisingly functional dark side sound font. It's clean, but it definitely feels dark side to me in that particular package. And I just like I'm always like swinging that thing around because it's just like so unobtrusive a design. And this and they don't even make the freaking Bastion anymore. Saberforge, they make. I
really miss the Saberforge, the legit real Eco Sabers, because those were awesome.
I would give a nut.
When was the Nano Biscotti originally offered? That was like what, 2000? It had to have been like the 2010s, if not sooner.
I would give a nut to be able to travel back in time to when Saberforge still offered their mystery boxes.
Oh, they had great mystery boxes. That was how I got my Exalted. I had ordered the Vanquish, and I was impatient, so I ordered a mystery box, and then I got the Exalted.
I have a Shadow Hunter, which I have. If I had all the money in the world, I would be sending it to I can't remember.
I got the Desert Warrior in a mystery box too. Remember when we got those? We both got the Obi-Wan. The same mystery box.
Mine has a First Harvest in it, and like
you said yours in the upgrade. Yeah, I sold mine. I said I can't do this.
It was like the most miserable experience. It was funny in a way. It was just like
yeah,
like he and I, we decided wouldn't it be cool if we ordered, and it was probably I think it was like the last time that Saberforge did a mystery box, so we both ordered the same exact
It was like
tier,
right before Christmas or something like that. Yeah.
and we each got a
And we were hoping that we were going to get the new First Harvest board because it said that on the website, but of course
we got
they weren't going to
we
give it to
got a redeemer. We each got a redeemer with
Yeah.
the legacy. It was the legacy. What the fuck they call it?
Yeah, they're the one that had the crimson and all that stuff on there. But yeah, it was their legacy board. It was horrible.
yeah, it's real
And,
bad.
and their legacy board, I don't think was that good. I mean, for the time, yeah, but it doesn't hold up today like Nano Biscotti does. But if you want a Saberforce mystery box, you can get one from Fanporium here. He says he's got a dozen of them that he's willing to just pack up a random one and send it to you. Kind of cool.
Not
You know?
quite the same vibe, dude. Like,
I mean,
look,
it's essentially the same thing, though. Hey, I'll throw you $100, $120. You send me a Forge Hilt, and boom. This is
I still have that the saber that it was the Saber Forge one with the
But he says his warranty sucks. To be fair, all sales are final.
It was the one where we did the videos going back and forth, where it was like the Sith saber with that weird board from it had a board installed in it, and it was missing the pommel, and you put a pommel on.
Yeah, that was
And I actually bought
you did, and I put a pommel on there, and then I think you said you replaced with something else too.
I put a new speaker on it, and I replaced the pommel, and it's a good. I mean, because it's a legacy soundboard made by company that doesn't exist anymore. We can put it in the list. They don't exist anymore.
Sinister Prophecy. That's what it was.
Yeah. And it was like one of the first soundboards that actually tried to attempt to make anything with smooth swing, but not the soundboard in this saber.
It had that. It was their top tier board at the time. Gosh, what was that called?
And they
ended up going out of business. But it was a legacy board that tried to do smooth swing. Oh, man.
Believe it or not, like he made probably like 20 different boards, all like subtly different, more different than the rest. And you could get manuals for all of them.
Man, I can't think of the name of that board.
He had like a Spark, and
yeah. Oh gosh, NEC Spark board. Yep, that's what it was.
Nigon.
Yep. Nigon Electronics,
an electric company or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's still working. It's still, and you know the thing is I went in there with a Dremel and I was trying to do something. I completely fucked it up, but I mean, it I don't know, for some reason, you can't even get a Sinister Prophecy anymore. Like the whole world is, I don't recognize anything anymore. The White House is gone, and you can't get a Sinister Prophecy.
That's another legacy board that I felt was actually pretty decent. The NEC, the Nigon stuff.
Shannon, I love.
Shannon brings up the Pico Crumble. That was a good one too. Remember that was Saber Trio did the Pico Crumble for their lower tier.
I still have both dark side and light side, and it's still just as functional. I mean, yeah, you can't change the sound font, but it's so basic and just responsive. And I really wish that Saber Trio still offered that because, you know, now they consider if you get it without NeoPixel, that's considered an FX Saber.
Yeah,
legit. But
I never had a Pico Crumble. I've always wanted to get my hands on one and try it, but I never got it. And they only had the two, like the light and the dark, and that was pretty much it.
There was one before the Pico Crumble called I can't remember what it's called.
Crystal Shard.
No, not Crystal Shard is like a more advanced version. There was one that aside from a Pico Crumble, it's kind of like.
Well, I thought it was Nano Biscotti, then Pico, then Crystal Shard, then Crystal Focus.
I think Pico comes first, and there was one before Pico Crumble, but I can't remember what it was called. And I've seen people sell them on like Facebook, and they say they've got this. And it's like the most legacy soundboard you can get, but it works. That's the thing. Is Plectro Labs is everything that they've made fucking works.
The more bells and whistles you have on there, the more things that can break. That's just the reality of it. Let's get caught up here. Let's see. Paul asked, "Do I have any Vire sabers?" So I did have a Vire saber that I constructed, that I put together myself, and it was a great one. It had the halcyon emitter and the neck. It was a great saber, but I sold that one. Someone else got that one. I sold that one, but I did have Vire sabers, and that was nice. And that was when they were doing when the smooth thing was kind of just getting started with LGT, and that was one of their more updated versions of it, and it worked out really well. I think it had like the 7 or 9 fonts on there, like Dooku, Sidious, Rey, all that stuff. And that was on my Vire sabers. But yeah.
This is like, you will not agree with me on this at all. At all. But I have a fondness for. Don't mock me. No mocking. I have a fondness for the Sabercore 3.0.
Okay. I have no major issues with Sabercore because my first Saber had that. My Exalted had it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
and I liked the fonts.
Has lockup.
It has all the essentials that you need. Yeah.
And what I appreciate most is what I like in a soundboard is when you turn the saber on and off. I like with a baselet. I like the fade out.
Yes.
I don't like and
Sabercore did that. Sabercore did that very well. Same with the power on. It started dim and then it got brighter, so you felt like it was igniting and turning off.
Let me show you the biggest flaw, other than all the other flaws we've talked about, of the D3.
I still have a Sabercore gutted somewhere.
Here we go. Check it out. Watch what the blade does. On. Off. Doesn't fade in, doesn't fade out. That fucking pisses me the fuck off. Now, this is a Talon. This is a Saberforge Talon. And this has like the original champion board. So it's like the LED is down here shooting the light up through this little trench.
You've got the Mylar in there, yeah.
Yeah, it has the Mylar in there. And so the blade doesn't light up very well, but for some reason, this is what used to be the top of the line Saberforge soundboard.
Well, the NEC was above that one.
And this one has Viridian. You got one effect. You got either Blaster Deflect or Lockup.
Later, Shannon. Thanks for popping in.
Huh?
Oh, I was just talking to her.
But it's really responsive, and you can adjust.
You could change some of the sound files in there too, if you wanted to.
Not on this one. This one has the one sound file. It came with one. It came either with Viridian Gray Metal, or Gunmetal, or Crimson.
Yeah.
So this one's Viridian, and like I said, you can pick either Blaster Deflect or Lockup, and it has you can control. You have 3 volumes.
As dated and dinosaur as that was, it was still way better than Ultra Sabers, whatever their bullshit they called their thing. Theirs was terrible.
How old is this? How old is this, do you think? 15, 20 years? Maybe 15?
I'd say 15, maybe more than 15, because that's probably around 2005-ish, if not later, a little later. That's probably close to 20 years.
Yeah. What do you notice? It turns on. It works. And it has a fade in, fade out for the blade. And like you can control the volume. There's like low, medium, mute, or low, high, mute. You can control the sensitivity of the clash, the sensitivity of the swings. You can control the blade. Kind of has that pulse. You can adjust that.
Yeah, I liked the pulse was my favorite blade effect.
It's as super basic as it gets, and you know what?
And the speakers were loud too. I have no major complaints about the old Saberforge stuff because that was my first legit saber, and I thought it worked really well. Honestly, the only reason why I had mine changed is because the LED had kind of changed colors on me, and
that's been an issue with a lot of my Saberforge. Like I have
like it faded or something. I don't know, but it started like blue and ended up like an aqua green or something. It was weird. But it was a single LED though. There's your Bastion.
The frickin' this thing came out with it, and this is supposed to be the Arctic blue.
Yeah, it's like aqua blue now.
It's basically cyan. It's cyan, and I've sent others.
I still have my Monarch.
What the hell is their Saberforges for Kane and Jarrus, the Eris. I sent my Eris in, and they swapped out the LEDs because it had become kind of cyan, and they replaced it with one it was supposed to be like Arctic blue or like a light blue, and
Paul's asking if that has the chassis. I know those old Saberforges, like it's like yes and no. Like they have a chassis to install, but it doesn't really.
It has the whatever the fuck is going on in here, and you can't access any of it, and you have to send it to them.
But if you gut it, which I have gutted old Saberforges, it is in a little cheap plastic chassis-like design.
Now I got like this popping out, and I gotta like glue that back into place. But
Obsidian, that's right. Best soundboard on the market. Yeah. And actually, that guy's name was Emery too. This is Emery from Ultra Sabers. The best soundboard on the market. The Obsidian soundboard sucked. That soundboard was trash. Is trash. And the problem, and then they tried to do what they call it, the diamond controller. It was not keeping up with everything else, and that's why Ultra Sabers fell off the map because they could not keep up.
And it was just like I love it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You turn it off, and the blade, it's just like turning off a flashlight.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was a flashlight.
Itself. Fuck that noise. Like,
and to pay all the extra money just for sound, and it was crappy at that. Oh, Ultra Sabers is terrible, and their hilts are terrible. They're MHS, but they're like bigger than MHS. Like those.
The thing is
massive.
I actually like the Obsidian sound font.
Oh, the font was okay, sure, but the board.
The board's non-existent. I mean, it's just like, I love like when you bought like an Ultra Sabers, like it was like buying an Italian car. It's just like you had to, it's like, hey, hey there, you wanna flash on class? Yeah, it's gonna cost you a little extra something.
Everything cost extra. They thought they were giving you a deal when they included the Allen key. The Allen key was $1. You have to pay for the Allen key.
Yeah, you want fucking red, or you don't want, or you want like a really nice red.
And certain colors did cost extra. Red, purple cost extra.
It's a little bougie. I understand if you've got an issue with it being so bougie. It's only gonna cost you like $25 extra.
Here you go. Oh wait, I need to add it to the stage. There we go.
Hey, Saber fans, this is Darth Paladin, and I have a mystery from the Boneyard.
Boneyard.
This was the Sinister Prophecy. For the first time, I have released Darth Paladin.
This is the Paladin Paradigm nostalgia board.
No, you fool!
about this guy. He helped me out with my Moff Gideon. I was looking online for some stuff, and then I saw someone who was also building a Moff Gideon cosplay, and then I actually learned how to work on sanding and some of that stuff from watching his channel. And then he was so kind enough to ship me to Belgium 3D printed parts that he used for his cosplay that I was able to use for mine. And he didn't even charge me, which is awesome. So welcome, Mediocre Model. It's awesome to have you on board here. Great guy. That's when you got mad. No, you fool!
When I sent my agent in to like acquire this thing.
Yeah. But you did eventually.
Hey, was anyone in the studio?
So
you can hear. This does not have smooth swing, so it's an older hero tier board, I believe.
But it had two switches.
So here is
which is like a big
it's
deal.
like almost a medium red.
And I prefer
and I
two
think it has an
switches. It's hard to
orange
come across
flash on
these days,
clash.
With at least with the
No
LED.
smooth swing. But it's pretty well responsive, as you
Like
can hear.
that. Cinema at its absolute finest.
Some people like these older boards. So the clash.
Yeah, you like those older boards. Look at the demo.
Now I'm going to run through all of the sound fonts that come on this NEC
Man,
board,
they're all gone
as well
now.
as let you see a full-length blade and these windows in action. One thing to note, there is only one blade retention screw, which is right on, because if not...
Episode 1.
So here's our first font.
That's that Saberforge weathering.
Nice windows on the emitter.
Basically put it on a machine and just grind it.
Remember, no smooth swing.
Can you pause it for a second?
This is an old...
Did you demo the fact that you can change the blade color on this?
I did not, because I didn't know you could at the time. You figured that out.
You can basically you hold it and you twist it and it changes to yellow because it uses all the LEDs. You can have yellow or orange.
So that
Or
was so we had early gesture controls back then with Nigon.
And color changing, with like a basic tri-cree, it was just like a yellow, red, red, and you could get like combinations thereof that like it was pretty nice. That's why I still like the saber.
Yeah, and it had a huge blade depth too. I think the thing was like 3 inches or something crazy like that. So you were you could definitely deal with this one and not have to worry about blade having trouble. But yeah, that was a
school board.
And I think I got this. This was a boneyard when they were doing those. They said they had issues with them.
You can see that it's a bright orange flash on clash.
So I got fortunate with that one.
It was just a weird ass install that they did. It was like probably something that had been sitting around in there for like 5 years, and they were like, "No, let's get rid of this."
Well, it had dust on it when I unboxed it. So
this is an Ultra Sabers Guardian with
look at that massive. That is a glorified mag light, but not as bright.
So watch when I turn this thing off. Off.
On.
This is
that a plasma blade? That's a plasma blade, isn't it?
Yeah. This actually has that's a blue light up switch. It has blue LEDs, but I get the plasma blade on it, so it's actually kind of like super ridiculously dumbass bright. Their LEDs are okay, but I mean, this is, what do they call this? The obsidian with all the extra stuff, whatever.
Well, there was the light, and then there was just the obsidian. So
the V3, I think they called it, and you can have like up to 6 sound fonts on it if you can figure out how to convert a sound font into like whatever's compatible with this board, which is, I have no idea. But I mean, I've had this thing since I started in the hobby, still working. So what say what you want about it.
As I'm scrolling through here, I'm remembering these when we did our collaboration. So I think it'd be fun to just share that just for the heck of it, because we've been collaborating for quite some time now.
Since the beginning of time. Oh, the split.
Yeah.
I never use the sound font.
You know, I don't either.
It's a shit sound font. Let's face it. I'm sorry.
Hey, trying to line that up was fun.
I can't do an Obi Annie to save my life. So.
And it's even weirder with a curved hilt too.
Yeah, and I bothered to bow. You were like, just fuck everybody.
That was fun. In
I
collaboration
came up with
with
a
Darth
choreograph
Paradigm.
for that. I was just trying to like do choreography. I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? I'm like in the. All of a sudden, I'm like working the freaking the on a Broadway or something.
Well, that's the best way to demonstrate, so that way the same sounds came across both sabers. So
it should be easier for us to collaborate now that we're in the same time zone, because like
this is true.
when we were doing this, when we were doing setting up this thing, and I texted this guy and I'm like, hey, is it like 3:00 like your time or my time? And it's just like we're in the same time zone. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You're no longer on the other side of the planet.
That was fun. When you sent me a message, I was like, you do know I'm in the US now, right?
It's no longer where like it's 2 a.m. in the morning and you're like half asleep and drunk and like
Which also means that we can both drink at the same time and one doesn't have to feel guilty.
Yeah, and I ran out of beer. Oh my god.
Yeah, I finished my I finished my 2 that were up here.
But
we have another question. What year did you start collecting? I know for me, I started, and it's right before COVID, so it was 2019 is when I got my first saber.
I would have to say that for me it was probably around the same time. Basically, what happened was as you'll see in a second, I have a rather extensive collection of katanas. And each one of these is has a T10 carbon steel blade.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, Scott is Bushido. He is the way.
Well, I'm an adherent to the Bushido code for all it's worth. But anyway, so I have a lot of katanas, and one of my blades I was practicing with, I used whatever. I injured myself, and once I recovered from the injury, I was like, well, I still want to be able to practice swordsmanship, but I don't want to injure myself again. So that I was like, well, what's going on with lightsabers? Because I had seen like a few lightsabers, like I'd seen ultra sabers or whatever, and discovered there was like a whole community, and there was like multiple companies that made these things, and I bought some of the like really, really cheap ass, like back when LGT was complete garbage. And
they were.
I bought some real shit Amazon sabers, and eventually like I bought my Vector, and oh my god, the Vector is still chef's kiss. And then you start to like get into it. And then like with everything, I became addicted. And you remember when I was like, hey, this week I got this, This week I
Yeah.
got that. And you guys would mock me. Bunch of mockers. You're a bunch of
But anyone who has been with Paradigm from the beginning, remember he used to do his unboxings in his car. He would get his saber and he would literally sit in the driver's seat of his Honda Civic and he would unbox it right in front of the steering wheel and show us, and then later do the review at home.
So this guy, I started watching his stuff. He unboxes a saber from Blue Force Sabers, and I'm like, well, I've got like the other saber from that, and I was
wondering. He
wondering.
did a run of 3. He had a run of 3. I had one. I had another one.
We never found our third.
So
the Three Amigos was never completed. But I contacted him and I'm like, did you buy this and that and blah blah blah?
And he's like, did you name it? He was like, you got to name it. And I think you gave mine like Chimera's Claw or something like that.
Mine's the Basilisk. Basilisk Tooth.
And then yours was Chimera Claw, something like that. I forgot what it was.
Ever since then, I will take a bullet for this guy. This guy is like my brother from another mother.
And that's why we cherish those sabers, because that was the first thing that connected him and I, and we've been talking and going at it ever since.
And you heard earlier this guy was thinking about selling it.
Yeah,
what a betrayal.
But alas, I was mistaken. I had a momentary lapse of judgment there. In fact, I'm going to try to find that video. That was towards the beginning of my.
That's the thing, is this is all on record now. So you do have a 3D printer.
I do.
If you could redo, like, the thing is what I was actually planning on doing is I've got the pommel here somewhere. Here it is. I'll get stuff down. Okay, so this is the pommel, and you can see the hole, how big the hole is, because it just like crumbled away. And this is the spare, because he gave it.
Oh, you know what? That might be an easy fix. All you gotta do is just put some resin in there, let it dry, and then just do a new screw.
Well, what I was thinking of doing was I wanted to like drill, but I don't have a drill. That's the problem. But I was thinking of drilling a hole and just having like a regular screw in there or something. But because what they did was he had it designed so that you put a retention screw in this hole, and with a 3D printed pommel being held on with a retention screw in the 3D printed part, it's just not a very good solution. Of course, you have to be able to take that on and off in order to. I mean, this is kind of a mess. I never fixed this, but
mine is like it looks like your speaker just kind of came loose. Mine is like
two-sided tape on the chassis, and this might be a little. Hold on, look at my.
Yes, I didn't have any of that. Oh, here we go. Here's my review.
Yeah. Okay. So the chassis comes out, and there's like he's got like this little battery holder, and it was just sort of like two-sided tape or some kind of epoxy holding the speaker on.
Greetings, Gray Paladin here, and this is a review of this Blue Force.
I'm looking at there it is.
This particular
here. This is 5 years ago.
I'd like your help with that.
From Darth. It feels longer than that, doesn't it?
We've been
about right, because I was
this.
But yeah, so you said I've had my eye on this seller's Etsy store for a while. He had some really interesting hilt designs, and a lot of them are based on Marvel characters, G.I. Joe, etc. Very cool stuff indeed. He has a variant of the saber for sale, and I might have to pick it up. I'm a fan of the Nano Biscotti V4, yeah. So I'm already sold on that. It's sufficiently different from the blah, blah, blah. Wow, this is a long comment.
Dude, I feel like I've known you for like 20 years. It could possibly be like just 5.
Oh, then here you go. You're like, I'm putting some thought into that name suggestion. Haven't come up with anything yet. Let's see the replies. I replied back. You said, I get a mythological creature vibe from this hilt. Chimera's Claw is my suggestion for what it's worth. Saber. And you said you're naming yours Basilisk's Tooth. Yeah. Yeah. So yours is Basilisk's Tooth and mine is Chimera's Claw.
All right. And that third person never
Never revealed themselves, unfortunately.
Could have been part of a brotherhood.
Yeah, this was I like this saber. I'm pretty sure I take out the inside. Yeah, right there.
Premium speaker, rechargeable lithium-ion battery.
Yeah, because the speaker
And
is attached to
loaded with
the so-called.
nanoscopic
Basically, it's the battery
V4
pack there. I mean, that is just a really kind of ghetto rigged install, but it worked. You know,
change pommels.
I mean, when you look at the way sabers are installed today, like that does not hold up. But it worked. I haven't had any issues. I did have to replace the speaker once though because it did kind of break off. Honestly, I should actually put like a good
in between the leather wrap
instead of that cheap flat
and
thing.
the pommel is an O-ring.
Yeah, good stuff.
Mine's
That was what started me and DPIB was when I put that video up.
I get this like felt wrap on mine. I've always really liked this.
Yeah, that's nice.
He's just basically attached a couple 3D printed bits to a pipe and filled it with stuff. And
yes, the addiction is quite real. I would have saved a lot.
Rebellions are made on hope, or whatever the line is, or built on hope.
Yeah.
Wonder if I've got like a battery that's got some juice in it here that I can like.
Yeah, it's crazy because I think I've charged that saber maybe twice in the 5 years that I've had it, and every time I power it on, it's just ready to go. Maybe the timing of your of the deep sleep on yours is off or something. I don't know, but mine, it works well.
Yeah, the battery doesn't quite fit. And if you try to force the battery in here, that's at Snap City.
Yeah, it's a no-no. Well, I can say, Isaac, that Scott doesn't sell sabers, so there's nothing he wish he had back. I think you gave one to Shannon, and you got rid of another one. But usually, when he gets a saber, he just holds on to it. I've gotten rid of a few. Honestly, I can't think of one that I sold that I would like to have back because I'm very particular about if I'm going to get rid of something. It's because I really don't want it or need it anymore. The only one that I think I might, if I could get one back, would be my Vire sabers with that Halcyon emitter. That was a nice hilt. But I don't really necessarily want it back. But if I had to take one back, it would be that one.
I just don't like feeling regret. Like a lot of times, like when I acquire sabers, like it's a special event for me. And my problem right now is that I have probably no fewer than 15 sabers that have just stopped working, and I just don't have the money or the time to get them fixed. I got like a whole pile of them right here that just like
I honestly, it'd be really cool if someone built you almost like a wall bookshelf, but it's all like saber rack, and you can just hang up all your sabers with blade. Because I know sometimes you like to leave your blades in, and that way you've got a nice little display behind you, and you can just grab any saber you want without having to dig around or search for it.
What I need is a room of requirement or a TARDIS.
Is this more Doctor Who stuff?
No, it's the room of requirement is Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. But TARDIS, isn't that Doctor Who?
Yes, time and relative dimensions in space.
Don't shake your head at me. I'm sure there's things that I am into that you are not.
You know army stuff.
I do. That I do.
You went through basic training, and I never did that.
Yeah, I'm trained to kill.
And plays a mean trombone.
I do.
And he can read
I'll
music
with my sound.
He can read music.
You know, I even played my trombone on one of my videos. I did it was like a May the 4th thing. I played some.
He's like Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters, but with a trombone, and he's a dude.
Let's see this one here. See if I can get this one up. The one time that I played trombone on my channel. Hey Saber fans, it's Star Wars Day. I just wanted to say, may the 4th be with you. Yeah, fun stuff.
You're such a nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Aren't we all? That's why we're here. This is why we're here.
This is why we play this. Holy shit. You always put so much more energy into this stuff than I do.
Well, you know, it's a hobby's a hobby, you know. You just do little things to share and have fun, and the whole cosplay thing, it's great. You know?
What happened to me was like my job used to be like, a normal job. It was like, normal amount of work, normal amount of exhaustion, but like I would come home from work and I would still have energy left over to do things. But like the last 3 or 4 years have just been like, it's just work is just a grueling affair where you're just like completely flat out for the entire time that you're there, which is reasonable, but to the point where like you're just you get out of work and it's just like nothing.
Yeah, you don't feel like
it's just
totally
completely
know the feeling.
And I come home every day when I used to like record videos and stuff. I just have to like literally just like shag out and get my composure back and sleep it off for a couple hours. And it's just, things have changed considerably. Like,
Yeah, and there's a few factors in there. I mean, the obvious one is life. We get older, times change, commitments change, things like that. Energy level, obviously, for me, had dropped a little bit. Also, the market had changed. The things that we had access to really did affect us doing content. And then I felt like a lot of us had to think outside the box. A lot of people that came out as lightsaber reviewers, if they still wanted to maintain their channel, they shifted gears. For example, Forged by Light, he doesn't do lightsaber stuff anymore. He shifted more to doing remakes of scenes, especially from Star Trek. So that he kind of shifted his gears, and then his channel took off doing that. What's another one? Darth Rage. He started doing the lightsaber thing, and then he kind of shifted more into cosplay, and then he started getting some more sponsors with lightsabers. So a lot of that, as the environment changes and the market changes, that also affected a lot of our channels too. I remember I came out a little more silly and fun with my intros and things, and I kind of got into more of a business model, and then I kind of shifted to do some different things. I started doing some more cosplay, more long form than shorts and things. So a lot of that does affect. And then for me, like I went through a divorce, and that's why I was kind of absent the last year. And then transitioning and moving from Europe all the way to here, that was a big daunting thing that took up a lot of time as well. So life happens, and that's where we shift. And I'm glad that we're able to, and this is why I feel the ones that are true fans, that are passionate about Star Wars, are passionate about the activity, that still, even though we kind of see the market is lost, or the community is lost, we still have hope in it. That's why we're back doing this live stream, and we've come out of the woodworks, because we just love this. This is what you release a new series or TV show, and I'm right there. Even if it's bad content or just not that great, I'm still going to watch it just because I love Star Wars.
Yeah. It was also kind of like, having to make a choice between, what is actually making the money and what isn't.
Hmm.
For me, you just got to check from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I still get the occasional check every like year or so. But it's just like making money doing this is
But
is
that's
a
not why we're
normal.
here. Yeah, we spent far more money than we got doing these channels. But that's not why we're here. I didn't start the channel thinking I want to make some money.
Yeah.
No,
But the
I spend more money buying one saber than 2 or 3 checks in a row from YouTube.
but the
So
but the fact of the matter is, you would produce a video, you record it, you'd edit it, you put it together, you upload it, and you put like an amount of work into it, and then you'd get like 123 views. And then
yeah,
occasionally you do a video and you get like some like 12,400 views, and you're like, how the hell this happened? You think you could reproduce that? You put in the effort.
yeah,
Next video you get like 435 views, and
yeah. I
it's
just gave up trying to figure out the algorithm or the
the
formula.
the
I do
inconsistency
this
of
for
the
me.
algorithm.
Yeah,
Um, and it wasn't like I wasn't trying to become famous. I just had like a hobby, and I just happened to.
just fun to
I
share.
thought that people would like to see these sabers, and I think they still do. Like I still have the desire. I've got like at least 20 sabers I would love to show off, but you know, balancing that with like my work and just commuting and exhaustion, and I have two parents that are older that I'm taking care of, and it's just like, to put in the effort to make a video, the usually anywhere between like 4 to 8 hours to make a decent video.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
there's a lot of energy. You're thinking of your format. You got to set up. You got to record. You have to edit. That's where the most of the time comes from is
yeah.
editing, and then you got to upload it and post it, and it is a lot of effort.
And you and I don't have like, people that do this for us,
For us, yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't, and I have a laptop, and I can't really afford to buy like expensive software to allow me to do these things. So I have to get something that's sort of like market free,
Hmm.
and it only allows you to do so much. Plus, I don't have the technical skill, and my job is basically I sit in front of a computer all day long, setting up files and then printing them, and then like you get home and the last thing you want to do is like deal with a computer, depending on how the day went. Like sometimes, like I said, it's more grueling than others.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you want to make YouTube like work, you have to retire from like an actual like standard 9 to 5 job, and you make
Well, your
YouTube
most
your life.
successful YouTubers, I think that
Yeah,
is their job, and the ones that are like in the millions subs and views and stuff, they have a team. Like who you
yeah.
see presenting the video or is not the one recording, doing the lighting, doing the editing. It's someone else, and they can afford to do that because if you have 1 million subscribers and millions of views, you're getting a substantial payment from YouTube every month, where you can afford to pay 2 or 3 people to handle those things for you.
It'd be nice to be able to go that route, but like
Yeah.
I just this particular genre, lightsabers and Star Wars
It's a
content.
very small niche.
If you've got like a reaction channel and you're reaction to, because I'm addicted to reaction channels, and there's so many people that like I saw. Like one of my favorite channels is a gentleman by the name of Klaus Kellerman. Started with he's a World of Tanks, which is my jam. And I started with him from the beginning, and I watched his channel grow. Now he has a second channel where he basically just talks about the toxic relationship between Canada and the United States now, and
Mm.
he has almost like a you know I feel like that content now is like more prevalent than his World of Tanks content. He makes money on both, but he's such an intelligent guy, and he is such a good, you know, he does the research, and he has the world knowledge, and I can see him like, working with Midas touch. But anyway, like I've watched that guy over the years, like 10 years, put in the work every day. He's producing content every day, and now that's what he does, and he makes
And
money.
that's the big one.
Money.
It was a struggle for me to do one a week, and now
Yeah.
I can't even do that. I'm lucky to get one a month. It feels like, But some of these guys are putting out content every day, sometimes multiple. Like they'll have a long form, but they'll do like one or two shorts, as well on top of that. I can't keep up.
Yeah. And again, that's when you're doing like a certain type of, material.
And you got to be creative too. I mean, when I first started, I thought I can only do a video when I have a saber, but you can't always have a saber. So you got to start thinking of different things. What else can I do that could produce content that doesn't require me to buy a saber?
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes that takes a lot of
money
energy
to
too, like
make money.
thinking of those things. I actually had a little notepad where I would write down content ideas. So when I couldn't think of something, or if it popped in my head, I'd write it down. So because whenever it comes time to doing something, you never remember anything. So I would just go to my tab, like, oh, okay, I could do this video.
We're beating a dead horse. Okay, so but that being said, you and I do have tentative plans to like do some shit.
Yes.
Like we had talked about, like
We both have a lot of sabers lined up that we just haven't released yet, but we have stuff that we are sitting here.
Well, we talked about like the possibility of like hitting Galaxy's Edge together and producing.
Yes, that would be a huge one. I really want to do that.
And I've never been there, and you're like literally the only person I know, like the only friend that I have that I could even dream about doing something like that with. And that being said, if anybody else wanted to join in, that would
we could do a meetup. I know like Lando Sabers and all those guys did that a couple of years ago. But yeah, just coordinate. Hey, we're going to be at this hotel or we're going to be at the park this weekend, and get in there and meet up at some spot.
I'm going to say this right now, that like I'm willing to let some bygones be bygones, and anything's possible. But I wouldn't be able to do anything until at least like next year. But I think that'd be really neat, because that's something that I've been wanting to do. That's on my bucket list. And,
Galaxy's Edge is on my list, and also I've always wanted to go to a Star Wars celebration, and that's probably even more important to me. I know the next celebration is going to be Star Wars Celebration 2027. Will be in Los Angeles or Anaheim, I think. So I'm planning for that one, and I'm hoping that whenever they release tickets, I can get it before they sell out. But that's a big one. I will take the trip to California for that, because the last two were like in Japan, and one before that was in London. Yeah. So, which I could have gone to when I was in Europe. I could have done London because it's only like an hour and a half flight. But
I'm pointing at you. What you and I need to do is we need to go and check out that in New York. I think it's upstate New York, where they have the guy built the set of the original Enterprise, the bridge.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I have a friend. I'm totally down for doing that too, because I like Star Trek too.
I have a friend who's been there. It's amazing. It's like in this guy's house. He like created the bridge set of the original Constitution class Enterprise, and I think he has like some other sets, and it's screen accurate. You can actually sit in the captain's chair on the bridge of the MFing USS Enterprise.
Is the view screen an actual TV?
As Scotty said, NCC 1701. No bloody A, no bloody B, C, or D. Oh shit! Like if anybody knows us, our second passion is Star Trek.
Star Trek, yeah.
We're Star Trek nerds par excellence. I grew up watching the original Star Trek.
For me, it was the Next Generation, but I quickly fell in. I thought the original series was corny at first, until I actually started from the first episode and just watched the series, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is Shakespeare! This is brilliant! I love the original series."
And here's a weird take. Some of you probably don't know this, but William Shatner can actually act.
Yeah.
And I sent you a video. It was from the end of Tholian Web. After Kirk had disappeared, he had made a video for the senior staff to watch, like Spock and McCoy. And when he disappeared, McCoy and Spock had actually watched his Kirk's last orders, and then after the episode resolved, Kirk was like on the bridge. They had saved him, and he was on the bridge. He was like, asked him, "So you saw my last orders, right?" It's like, and Kirk and Spock and McCoy are like, "No, the last orders, no, we don't know anything about that." And it's just like, the last orders. It's just like everything happened too quick. We didn't get just to see Spock lying his ass off, and McCoy and he just like totally like trolling Kirk. I love that. That's one of my favorite scenes. It's so well acted. Like William Shatner, he's just like, oh, all right. I'm so disappointed.
Louisville is only like 45 minutes from where I live, and I was actually looking it up today, Wonderfest, and I see that it's going to be in I think May. May of next year, so I definitely gonna go check that out.
You always seem to like, no matter where you live, there's always like stuff near you. Where I live, we have the ocean.
Well, there is a con that happens in Boston, I think.
Yeah, but it's in Boston. It's not 45 minutes. It's like 2 hours. Have you driven in Boston?
No, and I don't think I want to.
In Boston, that's all you.
But you can. I mean, when I did the convention in Ghent, that was like an hour and a half.
I don't want to go
where I was, and I still made it. And Brussels was like an hour and 20 minutes. I
don't want to go by myself. Like my best friend, she's not like interested in anything I'm interested.
Well, what's interesting, especially when it comes to like, that's the thing, is when you're surrounded by other nerds that love that stuff, you encounter people that, especially if you dress up. I know that's not your thing, but you're always going to encounter someone that you can talk to or run into. And because I went to everyone, but I went to most of them by myself. I went to two. I went to one with some friends, but the rest I went by myself, and I did thoroughly enjoy myself, especially when I was in cosplay, because people come up to me when I'm in cosplay and they want to take pictures. They're talking to me. You see other cosplayers, you start interacting with them. When I went as Moff Gideon, I was acting out. I saw a couple of Mandos. I was with them. Every time I saw like a stormtrooper or anything like that, they would go to attention for me when I walked by. They would follow me. It was like my escort. It's cool. It's fun. I really enjoy it. And that's why I want to do Star Wars Celebration, because at a normal con, you've got cosplays across everything. But you go to Star Wars Celebration, it's all Star Wars.
Yeah. So that's in California?
Yeah, it's in California.
LA or San Francisco or something like that?
I think it's Anaheim. No, it's LA. It's Los Angeles. Yep, it's LA in 2027.
Huh.
I think the dates are out. There is a website and there is a Facebook group, but they haven't said or mentioned anything about tickets yet. I'm assuming that's probably not going to happen until next year.
Start saving up the pennies.
Yeah, because that's a flight, it's a hotel, and I'm sure the tickets aren't cheap. And I'll probably just purchase a whole weekend. And then if I can't do it all, then I'll just sell them, because people are always in the group asking about, does anyone have tickets? Anyone have tickets? And they sell it for like double the price because, you're scalping,
People suck.
Yeah, pretty much. I would probably just sell them for what I paid for,
I'd like to do that too. I'm just not a cosplayer because I don't.
Yeah, when the time comes, when it gets close to it, I will be in touch with you and give you some information. Like, hey, tickets are available to cost this. You want to try to coordinate, but we've got 2 years before that happens. So
yeah. Well,
I made sure I went to the website to get reminders, so they'll send me a little email when stuff is ready, so that way I don't forget it or won't slip my mind. That's easy to do. We got so much life going on. Something 2 years from now, I'm not going to remember.
If there's even like anything left in 2 years, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Hopefully everything everywhere will work out all at once.
Yeah. Well, we're past the 2 hour mark, and I feel like we got a good hour on Electrum and some Saber stuff, and then got into some other things. So this
I
was
think
a good
I
discussion.
think that Electrum Sabercrafts, I think that was like there was definitely some points to be made about that people I think really needed to know, and it's
Yeah,
nice that you were able to kind of hopefully it'll filter out there and people understand that they're not completely permanently screwed and that there's a high probability that they're going to see some results, they're going to get their stuff,
yeah,
and hopefully there'll be a lot fewer broken hearts because um I just couldn't imagine um all of those people not getting compensated in some way, shape, or form. It just seems
yeah,
like if the banks just made out, then and people were screwed over. Um, that it just seems like that would lead to some potential
mhm,
litigation that I just don't think they want to deal with. So
yeah.
so it's good. It's a good thing. I
Yeah,
want everyone to get
it's
their
nice
help.
to know that they're not completely lost. People, you will get your saber. It's going to take some time, and communication is going to be minimal, if at all. So, but it's got to be patient. They're not stealing your money. They're going to do the best they can to make sure that you get your order, and then the banks are going to do what banks do, and they don't care about souls or your feelings or anything else as long as they get their money. So it's not on Electrum; it's on the bank at this point.
So good job on the research, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
want to make sure
because
I
I
had
mean,
had something to be able to share because I was very curious.
we were going into this. I'm like, yeah, we weren't. I didn't want this to be a bitch fest.
Yeah, and it wasn't at all. I mean, uh, there was nothing negative that we really said. We just wish that they had taken care of. We wish that they had made the decision to shift away from Starbird sooner. Other than that, that's the only bad decision that I feel like that they made as a company.
So, final note on that. I they will be missed. Yes, there was a lot of controversy and drama for the
Yeah,
last couple of years at least, but and it's just like I feel like the community is going to be diminished because of that one less custom saber producer. It's a
yeah.
sad thing.
It's
I
just a
wish them
Chinese
all the
market
best.
now. It's a Chinese market now.
I wish them all the best. I hope that they can survive this and
Yeah,
remain, somewhat somewhat comfortable and not have their lives uprooted too much because it's entirely not worth it, and it's a damn shame that they had to get screwed over like that because yeah, anybody with empathy sees other people getting screwed over for whatever reason. If you don't have empathy, then you're just not a good person.
I agree.
You need to have love for your fellow man, and regardless of the circumstances or what your beliefs are, we're all in this together, and it's a team effort. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I have to say about that.
Well, thank you everyone who tuned in. It was great to have you. We loved all the comments and the interaction. That was great, and it's nice for both of us to make our way out of the woodwork and have a presence in the community again. So hopefully you'll be seeing some content from both of us going forward. It might be sporadic, it may
Hopefully,
not be often, but we're going to get it out there for you.
and we do, and we love you guys. I mean, like this community is still means a lot to me, and I wish it was a little bit more. I wish it was a little bit more robust, like the good old days. You remember the good old
Yeah,
days? We had some good times, and
we
maybe
did.
there'll be more good times to come. Let's
Yeah,
let's let's hope.
yeah.
We'll try. That's all we can
Galaxy's
do.
Edge. Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. Boy, if we get to do that, there will be
Oh
content
yeah.
galore.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
whole lot. We'll be doing some live stuff and just videos. It'll be great.
You'll get to see us hauled away in cuffs,
Mhm.
you know, and
We'll be taunting Kylo Ren in the middle of streets,
freaking bar. Aliens
and we'll be
aren't here.
drinking Blue
We're here.
Milk.
I might even dress up as something. I don't know. Like, I'll dress up as a hut. Ooga dooga booga digga la la. Oh my god.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining in, and until next time, may the force be with you.
May the fourth be with you, and live long and prosper.